Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and this channel is all about entrepreneurship and living your best life. I am so excited for today's video. You guys know how much I love doing collabs, and I am with one of my favorite people of all time, Sam from A Happy Mind. And today we're going to be talking all about how to be more productive in the new year, which is honestly one of Sam's biggest magical powers, in my opinion anyway. But did you want to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm so excited to be here and it's so nice to meet you. My name is Sam, as Erin said, and I'm the founder of A Happy Mind TV on YouTube, but also A Happy Mind the business. I'm an anxiety and business coach, so I work with women who are in business trying to show up, but actually anxiety really stops them from fulfilling their potential and making amazing things happen. So yeah.
Love that. I'm so excited to collab with Sam. Honestly, for those of you who don't know, we are actually sisters. So our partners are brothers, so sister-in-laws, but we say sisters. We are also filming a video over on Sam's channel. So we're gonna be talking all about success habits, just the habits that you need to be more successful in the new year. You know, this is something I love talking about, and Sam has so many amazing tips herself. So I'm gonna leave all of the links to that down in the description below. So please make sure you go over and subscribe and you check out that video as well. And if you did enjoy this video, I would very much appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you are new here, then consider subscribing. Did you want to go first with your first tip?
Perfect. So as Erin said, productivity is something that I do pride myself on, and I love getting things done. But I do know that some people really struggle with that, and they struggle with how to be more productive and what does productivity even mean.
I just want to say, is it okay if you just give everyone a little bit of an intro about kind of how you built your business? Because I think a little bit of context as to why you're so good at productivity. So if you could share a little bit of that first year maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so in my first year of business, I worked full-time as a teacher. So I worked 12-hour days, 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. I would come home, I would work weekends, evenings. I wrote a best-selling book in that first year, launched a podcast, got fully booked with clients, launched my Facebook group, had my Instagram. So in that first year, it was an absolute roller coaster. But of course, I had to manage a full-time job, and I did have to hold down my full-time job. And a lot of that, I still went to events, I used my free time, I had to change what I was doing in my social life, I had to manage my evenings better. And it did change my life at the time, but in the best way possible, because now I don't work full time and I love my business. So yeah.
I love that. And I just wanted Sam to share her story, because I know so many of you are thinking about starting a business and you want to be more productive, but the thing is you just are stuck with the idea that it's impossible because you have a full-time job. And I just want to remind you that it's totally not. Yes, it does take sacrifice, but it is possible. All right, first tip.
First tip, saying that and having shared my journey and the fact that I did have a full-time job, we both do completely understand that it is hard and this journey is difficult. And along the road, the best way to become more productive is actually allow yourself intentional, keyword, intentional downtime. What we mean by that is you have to have time in your week where you aren't trying to be productive. You're not doing anything, you're not meeting up with people, you don't have plans, you're not working on your business, and you are having a bath or watching TV or just relaxing. If you don't have that intentional downtime, you will become run down. You will very quickly resent how much you have to show up online or how busy you are. You'll resent the fact that you won't see results as quickly. You'll be neglecting yourself, but also you won't be spending time doing anything that you enjoy outside of your job, but also your business. So one really top tip is you have to have intentional downtime every single week that is just for you, and you don't fill it with anything.
I love that so much. And honestly, even though I don't work full-time and build my business on the side, I found as my business has grown and I've had more responsibility, that is just something that helps me so much. It makes you, it's all about replenishment. You have to give back to yourself in order to be able to give to others, which I know so many of you have businesses where it's all about giving and talking and speaking and content. So I love that tip. My first tip then is, if you do find yourself procrastinating, and let's not be naive, we all procrastinate from time to time. We get into the cycle of scrolling or watching YouTube videos. You might be procrastinating right now. But what you should do, rather than just all of a sudden getting arms up in the air and saying, I'm, feeling guilty, set a timer. Set a timer, and I call it a procrastination timer. Allow yourself an extra 3 minutes, an extra 5 minutes, or a little bit of time to just wrap up the procrastination as if you would wrap up a task in your business or a project, and then move on to what you're supposed to be doing. This just allows yourself to know that, okay, so I have been procrastinating, it's not the end of the world, I'm just gonna wrap it up and finish that, and then I'm gonna move on to something more important. I think the guilt and the time where we're actually feeling really guilty about procrastination makes it so much worse, and it makes it so much harder to then get into productivity mode. So if you have this really nice trigger point where it's like, okay, the time is done, that was that, it is what it is, it's in the past, now I'm gonna move forward, it's so much easier to be productive.
Love that.
Love that.
Number 3 is, now I love a list. I love a list, so it has to be one of my top tips, but for so many reasons. And when myself and Erin, whenever we talk, I'm always writing lists for a few reasons.
After that.
Yeah. Number 1, no matter how trivial, menial, small, insignificant you think the task is, or how everyday and routine it is, if you are trying to create a business, a lifestyle that makes you feel enriched and abundant, those small tasks lead to massive changes and impact. If you're not writing those down, it's almost as if you aren't bringing them to in existence as quickly as possible. You're not getting them out of your mind into the world. So for me, every week I do a list of the week. I did this the other day, before today happened. I had a list for the whole week, and I said, by the end of this week, I want to have achieved all of these things. And some of them were replying to my emails. That isn't necessarily a new task, but as soon as I write it down, I'm much more likely to action it and also reward myself when I've done it. So I draw little boxes and I tick off when I've done it. And even if you are doing tasks on a day that are admin or behind the scenes, the not so glamorous side of your business, they need to get done. But if you actually write them down, 1, you'll bring them to existence, but 2, when you then complete them, you can be happy knowing when your loved ones come home and say, what did you do today? Actually, I did all of these things and I've got myself further forward than I was before. So lists, but also everything needs to go on this list, not just the big things, no matter how insignificant, because you have to be able to reward yourself when you get things done, and remember that as soon as you write it down, it's out in the world and you can take action.
I love that one. I love that. So, and honestly, so many people say, oh, I've just started working at home and I feel like, you get to the end of the day and I don't even know what I've done. Being able to reflect back on that list is massive for that sense of fulfillment. Like, wow, I actually did a lot today, even though it might not have been like film a video or host an event. It was still moving your business forward. And so the next one for me is a trigger point, or a transition point, you could call it. So on that note, sometimes when we are working for the entire day, it can feel really just as if everything morphs into one, and it can get really messy. And then what we can start to do then is start to multitask, which isn't the most productive thing to do. So my suggestion is, if you've chunked out with your list or in your calendar that you need to do 10 things today, what you want to do is have a transition point between each of those tasks. So say the first task was film a video, the next task was do my emails, the next task was record a podcast. Between each of those tasks, what you want to do is have an intentional action that you do so that your mind and body knows that you are moving from one task to another. And it's almost just as if you are shutting off from that previous task and moving on to the next. Now, this can be anything. It could be a meditation, it could be some breathing, it could be some star jumps, it could be going for a walk, but it just allows your mind to say, okay, I'm finished with this task, let me refresh myself for the next task at hand. Because otherwise what you'll find is that your energy will just dwindle throughout the day and your focus will become less and less helpful for you. So what you want to do is make sure that you're stopping and starting each of those tasks rather than combining them all as one.
Can I just say, I'm literally loving my life right now.
What?
I don't know about you, but I'm really enjoying this.
Really?
I feel like I'm like in the TV program, like really behind the scenes. Anyway, I love it. I'm just like,
This is like totally BTS filming. You've seen me film heaps of times.
No, but now I'm in it. I'm like on the screen. Okay, so my final tip, I had to get that in there. My final tip is, and this is actually kind of around what I've just shared. You have to have a start and an end point for your week or period of time. Some people work Wednesday to Wednesday. Some people, you might just work on the weekends in your business. You might do it full time, you know, wherever you are. Some people like to do month to month, but you have to have a start point and an end point for your period of time. So, for example, on Monday, usually I do this on a Sunday night, I write down where I am at the moment. So where am I today? And then I think in the future, where do I want to be at the end of that week? And this week, it was all around, obviously, connection, because we're together. So spending quality time with my family, becoming mindful, really appreciating the love that I have around me, but also feeling really abundant and empowered, because whenever we get together, we have this like really positive energy. And I wanted to focus on that. I wanted my week to be around doing things in the business, up leveling, but also enjoying the process and doing it with someone that I love, and like we share that.
I love that.
Before the week's even happened, I know how I want to feel at the end. So even if on Monday we didn't do anything and I wasn't really working on the glamorous things, I knew that I had a whole week to end up feeling how I want to feel at the end of that week. And productivity isn't just about tasks or actions or doing, it's about your feelings and your emotions. And your week might just be that you want to feel organized, you want to feel accomplished, you want to feel calm. So organization could mean that you spend the whole week focusing on your emails, or you focus on the back end of your business. If you want to feel accomplished, it might be because you're launching a new website or a new product or a new membership. And if you want to feel calm, it might be that you're really dedicating time to meditation or walks or nature or a holiday.
I love that.
And that, for me, I think everything we've shared is around how you can create productivity in your life and in your business, but fundamentally you have to really become aware of how you want to feel when you've done these tasks, and allow that to move you forward. And that should give you the push that you need and the positive momentum to think, if I don't do this task, it's not just a task that's not getting done, I won't feel how I want to feel at the end of the week or this phase of time.
Yeah, I love that so much. So, and something that I read recently, I can't remember where it was I think it was for the month, but I guess you do it for the week as well, is having like a theme. So that would go along with that. And I find that that really helps you, because as I said, even with the previous tips, sometimes everything you do with your life and your business, it just all morphs into one, and it can get really exhausting. But if you really are super intentional about what it is that you're achieving, and that doesn't always have to be the same thing, then it just allows you to fuel yourself by knowing that you're ticking the boxes in all the different areas of your life.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on. So that is it for us, guys. Those are our 5 tips on how you can be more productive in the new year. If you do have any tips of your own, then please do leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to go and check out Sam's channel, because we are filming a video, as I said, all about success habits, how you can be more successful in 2019. And I will see you in the next video.